everyone. I'm Kerry Padrick with WLX-TV's Eye on St. Lucie, where we explore instructional practices, operations, and school policies for St. Lucie Public Schools. In today's segment, we're going to discuss something that you may have been hearing about lately in the news. There's been some legislation, some amendments that have taken place in regard to open enrollment and school choice. This is something that we want to shed light upon because this is the period of open enrollment for our high schoolers, and just around the corner we'll have an open enrollment period for our students in grades kindergarten through grade 8. And I'm so very pleased because we have one of the most expert individuals on this subject with us today to help shed light on the subject, and that is our Director for Student Assignment, Miss Michelle Jerger. So Michelle, thank you so very much for being here with us today. We know that this is a hot topic.
Yes.
And you are our honored guest.
Why, thank you.
Now, you've been with the district for many, many, many years. So give us a little bit of background on what you've done and how you've helped serve the parents and the students of St. Lucie.
Okay. I've been with St. Lucie Public Schools for 15 years. And for those 15 years, I've actually been in student assignment. I started off as a manager there in student assignment and worked my way up to director. And through that, I've seen many changes from when we were under court order and coming out from a court order, moving from how we assign students, changing zone lines. So I've seen a lot of different changes that we've gone through as far as the district regarding student placement.
Well, and I know that I pretty much have you on speed dial whenever there's a question, and you've always been able to help me understand, to help clarify, which is why it's so important to have you here today. With open enrollment and school choice, there are a lot of questions that are looming, and it doesn't impact our current school year, and that's something that's very important that we want to get across. But we're getting ready to, I mean, we might as well say that next year's here because we're welcoming in 2017. Yes. And, you know, before we know it, the 2017-2018 school year will be upon us. And that is what the amendments will be impacting. So with open enrollment and school choice, there have been some changes that will impact what parents and students have the ability to do when they're making some decisions about next year, the 2017-18 school year, their school of choice. And that is from kindergarten through grade 12, correct?
That's correct. Yes, that is correct. What I like to say is that a lot's not changing. We are a school district that has been very progressive in ensuring that our parents have an opportunity for choice, from choosing schools within your zone. There's just many different options that are available to our parents. But for the 17-18 school year, each district has to provide a process in which a parent can select a school outside of their zone lines. And every district has to come up with their own plan regarding how they will implement that process. So House Bill 7029 is the bill that actually was passed that allows parents to select any school within their district based off of capacity being available.
Okay, so in the past, parents have had a number of schools in which they could select from, and they would rank those schools when they came in to identify where it was that they would like to see their child attend. That's not something that we are restricted to this year. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You're not restricted to making an option just within your zone. However, you are restricted to a certain time frame in which you can make those selections. So currently for high school, as of last year, the way we assign high school students is based off of your zip code, and that's not changing. That's exactly the same. We're still going to give you a school assignment based off of the zip code that you live in. So for example, if I live in 34982, my school would be Fort Pierce Central High School. So I know that would be my school. But if I was interested in, say, going to Fort Pierce Westwood, then that would be an option that I could select within the month of January.
Okay, so for high school, month of January, now that open enrollment period, and from what I understand, there's a one-time open enrollment period for high school, and that would be beginning Monday, January the 9th.
Yes.
Through-
January 9th through the end of the month.
So through January 31st. Finite.
Yes. If you are interested in attending a school outside of your zone, based off of your zip code for high school, then your opportunity to let us know that you would like a different school is from January 9th through January 31st. And that would be the only window that we would have available for the 2017-18 school year for you to select a different school.
Okay.
However, if you want for the 18-19 school year to select a different school, you'll have that opportunity in January. Our plan is for each year, January would be that time of the month that you would let us know on your school placement.
Okay, so that rolls around every year.
Every year, yes.
So for students that are currently in 8th grade, moving into high school,
Yes.
they need to keep the January 5th through January 31st timeline in place.
January 9th
in
through
mind.
the 31st, yes.
All right, so students currently in 8th grade, currently in 9th grade, currently in 10th grade, currently in 11th grade. And
Yes.
for our current 12th graders, they're graduating, so this does not apply.
Right. And the most important thing to know is there's really nothing that you need to do. If you're happy with your school, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to come to student assignment. You can stay where you are. Go ahead and contact your school once you get your notification that you've been assigned to school. But you don't have to do anything. It's only if you want something different. And those placements are always going to be based off of seat availability for the school. So yes, we've gotten a lot of calls from parents saying, I've been told I can go anywhere. Yes, you have the opportunity to select any school in our district to attend within the zone lines. However, it is based off of seat availability.
Okay, and that's true for other districts as well, because this is not just a St. Lucie amendment to current choice and open enrollment. This is statewide. And
Yes.
every district has had to make some of these
Every district in the
modifications.
state of Florida is required to follow this new law.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so we've mentioned the window for high school,
Yes.
current 8th graders going to high school as well. What about students that are kindergarten through 8th grade? That window is a little bit later. It's in March, correct?
It is. We really wanted to make sure that we stayed focused on the same months that we've always done enrollment. Parents know in St. Lucie County that kindergarten enrollment starts in March. So we wanted to ensure that our timeline was the exact same as parents are used to. We don't want to make a lot of changes because this is a big change for families, and we don't want families to miss out on the opportunity. So our regular open enrollment begins March 1st through March 31st.
Okay.
And that entire month of March, we will be accepting applications for kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. And during that time, that is your open window to select a school outside of your zone.
Okay, so again, that's the finite window for students in kindergarten through 8th grade. Even if let's say I move in from out of state in April or May, the window has passed and I would not have that open opportunity. I would need to wait for the following year for it to roll around if I would want to move outside of my zone, correct?
That's correct. There is a one-time window for high school and for elementary and middle school. We really want to ensure that the students that live within their zone have the seats available to them. And then we also want to make sure that we're being true to the law and offering those seats available to outside students too.
Well, it sounds like you all have really put a lot of thought into this. I know you've had a lot of discussion and trying to be very fair, like you say, to the people who are within the zone and
Yes.
opportunities for folks who are outside of the zone as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was definitely a team effort to come up with the process that will work for everyone. But yes, our focus is to ensure that the students that live in the zone, you get those opportunities to get assigned to your zone school, and out of zone students, you still have the opportunity to say, you know, I want to consider this school. So you can, and one thing I also need to clarify is that your zone selection, you will still be required to make a choice within your zone. So if there are 5 different schools that are available for me to select for my kindergartner, you're still going to rank order those 5 schools, but you have the opportunity to make that one selection for an out-of-zone school. So you won't be choosing, if I'm a green zone student, I won't be making all of my choices in the red zone. If I'm a red zone student, I won't be making all of my choices in the blue zone. You will still be required to make the choices within the zone that you reside, and then select one school that you are interested in attending.
Okay, and that was going to be my next question, because there is such a streamlined process for individuals coming in to register for school, and I was going to ask if you could share that process for registering for school and how it would differ for individuals who were choosing to go out of zone. So could you just walk through a process for someone coming in? I'm not interested in out of zone. I want to come in and register my child for school. What do I do?
Well, we'll use a kindergartner, for example. In order for a kindergartner to get registered for school or to apply for a school, we need their birth certificate and 2 proofs of address. And we do have on the application what those 2 proofs of address would be approved for us to accept in student assignment. And just complete an application. If you're not sure what zone you live in, we have wonderful assignment counselors that are there that speak multiple languages. We speak Spanish, Creole, Italian, and Portuguese. So we're able to communicate with many of our families that reside here in St. Lucie County. And simply come to student assignment, drop off that application. We'll take that application, put it into our system, and process it in a batch. The wonderful thing about our process is that you do not have to wait in long lines. You do not have to be the very first person that walks through our door. You can be the last person at 4:30 in the evening on the last day, and you have the same opportunity of getting the school of your choice as the person who walked in the first day at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, and that's great. That
Yes.
is a testament to some of the processes that have been put in place and the years with which we have had the choice opportunities.
Yes.
We still have some magnet schools within our district.
Yes.
Does that play any part in the opportunity for people to choose outside of the zone?
Well, our magnet schools, nothing's really changing with the magnet school.
Okay.
You are going to get on the waiting list for the magnet school, and based off of your date and time stamp, you'll have an opportunity to get into the school as long as your date and time is early enough for it to get you in. We are taking a small percentage of seats that we will be offering in the lottery. However, in order to be a part of the lottery for the magnet school, you have to be on the magnet wait list. So the magnet wait list process is still driving the assignment process for all of our magnet schools, which would include Fairlawn Elementary, Francis K. Sweet Elementary, Lincoln Park Academy, Fort Pierce Magnet School of the Arts.
Okay, so let me throw a couple of what ifs your way, because I'm sure there's some parents that have some questions looming.
Yes.
And I know that you all have a tremendous Q&A document, and we'll be sharing that in a little bit as well. But let's say that through this open enrollment option, that I have a child who is currently attending a magnet school.
Yes.
And through this process, I have decided that I would like for my child to attend a school outside of the zone and not the magnet school. I opt for my child to go to a different school. And then I change my mind later. Can I go back and recapture my seat?
Our process is really simple. You cannot hold 2 seats at the same time. The system has to be able to know what seats are available for us to be able to assign students. So if I hold a seat at a magnet and I complete an application, you are going to be releasing your magnet school seat for an opportunity to attend a school in your zone. So what we do as a courtesy, because we know that families spend so much time waiting to get into the magnet schools, we do give you a 5-day window when it comes to the magnets. But you have to let us know within 5 days whether you are going to take your zone choice seat or whether you're going to keep your magnet seat. If you do not inform student assignment that you want to keep your magnet seat within 5 days, you will have a seat at your zone school.
Okay, so it must be a very thoughtful decision.
Yes.
And once you make that decision, you need to be aware that that is a final decision.
That's
that
a
is made.
final decision, yes.
Okay.
But we do understand that we have families that get on the wait list as early as their child being a few months old. So we want to ensure that we give them, it's a big decision to choose to move your child from one school to another. So we do work with the families that have been on those wait lists for a few years. But there's an opportunity for you to participate in the choice process. But that window, we work very tight on our timelines because we want to be able to offer the seats to families who want them.
Okay.
So if you are holding a seat at a magnet school and now you want to go to another school, you're holding 2 seats for a very short period of time. We can't continue to allow you to hold those 2 seats. You have to have one. And if you don't call us, our assumption is that you are happy with your choice assignment, and we will release your magnet school seat for a student who's on the wait list.
And on the flip side of the coin, there are people who are waiting for those seats to open up, and so
Absolutely. We get calls every single day. Where am I on the wait list? Am I getting closer? Do you think those seats will open up? And we love those calls. We want our parents to call us, get the information directly from student assignment, not from your friend, not from your neighbor. Call us. We will give you the information that you need. Our assignment counselors are wonderful, very patient. They have folders of families that they consistently follow up with to ensure that, just to let them know where they are in the process.
okay, very good. And then it's very important what you said. Get the information straight from student assignment, not from hearsay on
That's
the
right.
street or from a friend who heard something. Get it
That's
straight
so
from
important.
student assignment.
Yes, it's so important. You know, my child's needs and what I'm looking for in education for my child is very different from my neighbor. It's very different from my friend. My child is different from my friends. Get the information from us. You have very specific questions. We're not going to have any bias towards any of our schools. We're going to give you direct information about how wonderful all of our schools are.
And each school has something unique to offer, and that's what's
Absolutely.
so important, because a parent knows what his or her child's needs are. And, you know, our schools are geared to meet the various needs and the differentiated needs of our children. So,
Absolutely.
you know, it's great to be able to visit schools and see what they have to offer.
Yes.
Okay, so let me flip now to transportation and a question
Yes.
that I have. Okay, so what if, as a parent who has decided to use the open enrollment window and go outside of the zone, will I be required to provide transportation for my child going outside of my regular zone?
That is a wonderful question. If you elect to select a school outside of your zone, you will be responsible for transportation. Now, I have parents that'll call and say, well, I know there's a bus already going there. I can just put her on that bus. Well, the routes that are current for this school year are not necessarily going to be current for the next school year. It's all based off a need. And if you elect to go to an out-of-zone school, even if there's a bus routed there, you are not necessarily going to be able to get on that bus. It is reserved, those seats are reserved for in-zone students. We need to ensure that we get our in-zone students to school. The law does not require any school district in the state of Florida to transport out-of-zone students if they elect to choose an out-of-zone school. So if you choose a school out of your zone, that's perfectly okay, but make sure that you have some transportation arrangements through your daycare provider or family member to be able to take that child to and from school.
Okay. And again, that goes back to that very thoughtful decision
Yes.
of what you would like to do for your child and for the ongoing needs that would be associated with making that decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would highly recommend that any parent that is choosing to select a school outside of their zone, come see us, give us a call at Student Assignment, have that conversation with us so that we can help you with all the information that you're looking for. There are some schools that we know that parents are going to select because they're just highly chosen schools. Those seats may not even really be available. So, I don't want parents to go through the frustration of waiting for a school assignment and, am I going to get this school? If you're happy where you are, you have that opportunity to stay. There are going to be some schools that just won't have the capacity to be able to take more students. And give us a call. We can give you a picture of what that looks like and whether or not that's an opportunity that you really should look into or explore more opportunities within the school you're currently enrolled.
Okay. And if I have chosen to participate in this open enrollment option, how will I be notified and made aware that the choice is available to me?
So this is so important. Make sure we have your most current address. As we communicate, we take in anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 applications during our open enrollment period for kindergarten through 8th grade. So the best way for us to communicate is to send those letters, and we want you to have something tangible to be able to show your student what school they're going to. So yes, you'll be notified through mail. Make sure that the school has your most updated address so that when we send those mailings, you get that to your correct address.
Okay. All right. Well, I've asked a few questions, but I know there's so many more questions out there. And like I said earlier, you all have prepared a very, very thorough Q&A guide.
Yes.
Where can parents go to find some information on resources, other information about open enrollment and choice?
We will be posting information on the website. It will be on our main page, and it should also be on our school enrollment page. So
Okay.
you go there. If you have any problems, call us.
All right.
We're there. We're there to answer questions. It's just so important that when you decide, if you're unsure about what to do, speak to a student assignment representative. This is what we do every day, 5 days a week, all day. We know the information. Get the information from us. We'll be showing some of the Q&A on this show or throughout. So it's important. Just make sure you have the right information. Don't just listen to your friends, because we use resources too, and we do this every day. So you might get some of the information correct from someone else, but you might not get all of the information.
Right.
And we'd rather for you to be fully informed. So go to our website, call Student Assignment, come by and see us. We'd love to see you. So we're available from 8 to 4:30. We take our last application at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So you want to make sure that you get in our doors by 4 o'clock.
All right. And our St. Lucie Public School homepage, which is where parents can go to find out more information. The Q&A document that you spoke about will be available on the homepage under the announcements section.
Announcements.
And our homepage is www.stlucieschools.org.
Yep.
And we also will be running that through our Lucie Link newsletter. Parents are invited to sign up for that, and they get a regular update. We also have our social media outlets. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're out
We're
there
everywhere.
on social media, that's for sure. So we like for people to watch us. YouTube as well.
Yes.
The show is on YouTube.
Okay.
WLX TV also runs regularly. So Yes, and this information is available in multiple languages through multiple different TV shows. So
Yes.
we're making every effort to try to get the information out. And like you say, your staff is amazing with the ability to communicate with so many audiences, and we do appreciate that. One more time for the viewing audience, the 2 periods of open enrollment for high school and K through 8. Can you repeat that, please?
High school starts next week, which is January 9th, that Monday. Remember, you don't have to be the very first person in, but we do start taking applications on January 9th through the end of January, which is the 31st. So January 9th through the 31st is for high school. Remember, if you're happy with knowing what school you're going to, you don't have to do anything, because I'm going to give you a school assignment based off of the zone you live in. However, if you want something different, January 9th through January 31st is your time to submit an application for the next school year. That will be the opportunity. For kindergarten through 8th grade, our open enrollment starts March 1st through the 31st. That is your one opportunity to select a school outside of your zone. We are open from 8 to 4:30. We take our last application at 4 o'clock. Our goal is to make sure that we spend time with you and answer any questions that you may have going forward.
Okay, and that's at our district office at 4204 Okeechobee Road.
Yes,
So we welcome people to come in there and visit you and your wonderful staff.
and we welcome them. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Well, I do thank you so much for being with us today. You've definitely helped to crystallize this information for me and for our viewing audience. You've been a delightful guest today, and look forward to having you back. I'm sure that there are many more opportunities for you to enlighten us on district events, district information, and student assignment is always something that we are most interested in.
It's been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
On behalf of WLX TV, I thank you for joining us today. And as always, we look forward to you following us, liking us, and watching us on our social media outlets. And as always, we also want you to keep your eye on St. Lucie.